Hi guys, how did you do on that quiz? I'll be taking a look at it really soon and see how we did. Okay, because you should be able to tell me exactly what a habitat is. A place where plants and animals can survive because they have enough food, water, and shelter. Three things, yep, food, water, shelter. And we know that shelter is a place that we can get in and out of the weather. We need to survive, needs to stay alive. Those are all the things we learned last week. And we learned that one of the habitats is called the Arctic. What's the weather like in the Arctic? Did you say cold? Yeah, very cold. So cold that there's snow and ice almost year round, all the time. All right. Well, Rattenborough told us he was going to go to a warmer place now. Let's take a look at where Rattenborough is going to be going. See if we got it here. Does not look like it. Uh-oh. You're going to come up? Let's try again. Let's go to escape. There's where I want to go to. Let me try again. Share my screen. That's what I need. Okay, there's my slide. And let's see if we can get to where it says present. What was the problem? That's what I did last time. What is a habitat? A place that has food, water, shelter for a living thing. All right, there's a pretty good clue about where we're going next. Do you guys know where it is? Did you say desert? You are right. This is the Sonora Desert. And the Sonora Desert is a very different habitat than the Arctic tundra, isn't it? Now, here's where the Sonora Desert is located. All where this yellow part is right here. We live right where that little tiny blue dot is, right there, close to the Great Salt Lake. So we're kind of close to this desert, the Sonora Desert. If you go into California, you might get part of the Sonora Desert. And all the way down to the tip of Florida, looks like. That's pretty amazing. So the Sonora Desert is a big area. And let's talk about what a desert is. Sonora Desert. Here he is, Rattenborough again. Let's see if I'm in the right place. Well, after nearly freezing and almost becoming polar bear snack in the Arctic, I thought we should go to some place where my whiskers and tail could thaw out and warm up. So I brought you to this desert. There are many deserts all over the world. You know, you're in a desert when it doesn't rain very much. Many deserts can also be very hot. Because it's so hot and dry, only certain types of plants and animals can live there. Welcome to the Sonora Desert. In the southwestern part of the United States and the southwestern part of Mexico. The temperature is quite hot during the day, and it doesn't rain very much. The heat and the lack of rain makes it hard for plants and animals to live in the desert. They must be specially adapted, remember that word, to live in the hot weather and survive with very little rain. Adapted means they have changed and they make it so that they can live there. How do they do it? Some plants can save and store water inside the plant parts when it does rain. Other plants grow only in shady areas near the mountains or rocks. Because there are very few plants that can be used as shelter, the animals that have adapted to living in the desert often seek underground shelter and make their homes under the sand. Living underground helps them stay cool when it gets hot, and it keeps them hidden from other animals that may want to eat them for lunch. This is the Sonora Desert. Animals have adapted to live in the desert. What do animals do to live in the desert? Who heard one of the things I said? Did you hear that they can hide under the sand to stay cooled off? Yeah, they can dig down or burrow, right? And we heard that the plants can store water. Those are two of the things that they've done to adapt. Now, this is called, oh, ouch, let's see. Oh, ouch. What did I walk into? Ah, here it is, a plant that lives in the Sonora Desert called the saguaro cactus. Saguaro cactus. Cactuses don't have leaves. They have prickly spines instead, which is exactly why it hurts so much when I touch them. The incredible saguaro cactus lives for up to 200 years, and in that time it can grow as high as a house and can weigh as much as several cars. The most amazing thing about the saguaro is that it is a habitat in itself. That's right. Not only does it manage to live and thrive in the desert habitat, but just by being there, it provides food and water and shelter for many different animals. Let me get my climbing gear out and some gloves to protect me from those sharp spines, and I'll meet you at the top. You already know that it hardly ever rains in the desert, but when it does, the saguaro cactus saves and stores huge quantities of water in its roots and stems. The cactus saves the water and uses it to survive during those times when it is very dry and does not rain. Cacti. How's the saguaro cactus adapted? We said saving water. The spines don't let off much water, like leaves would let off a lot of water, but spines don't. So those are cool ways. Now this, in the spring, a white flower grows on the saguaro. At night, when the desert cools down, these flowers open to show sweet nectar, which butterflies, bats, and birds feed on before the flower closes the next day when it gets too hot again. In the summer, red fruit begins to grow on the saguaro. Many animals eat the fruit of the cactus. Here is an interesting bird called Gila woodpecker. The Gila pecks holes in the soft cactus and with its beak to make a nest for its eggs. The Gila woodpecker is an omnivore. An omnivore is an animal that eats plants and animals that eats both. The Gila feeds on the cactus fruit and berries as well as insects that have invaded the saguaro. Thankfully, I brought a sandwich, so I won't have to join these Gilas for a buggy lunch. It really is way too hot for a regular rat like me to live here. I'm glad I brought my fan with me. Interestingly enough, birds like this Gila woodpecker, can live in the desert habitat because their feathers help protect them from the hot desert sun by trapping cool air next to their skin. Most birds only go out to feed in the morning or the evening when it's cooler outside. From noon to late afternoon, many of these birds seek shelter in the holes that they have dug in the cactus or in shady places. So that's really fun, huh? We learned a lot about the saguaro cactus and how the saguaro cactus is a habitat to the woodpecker, the Gila woodpecker, and probably to other animals too. Super cool. All right, keep thinking about habitats. And which habitat we talked about today was the desert. And what makes it a desert? How much rain it gets. That's what makes it a desert. Now they're hot usually too, but what makes it a desert is about how much precipitation or rain it gets. That's what makes it a desert. All right, see you later.